So let me move on. So in our main, so we will come back here. Below our header, we can now have the main element, and then we'll have a closing and an opening and closing tag. Why don't we use comments to label this so that we know what is what? So we can use comments, and then we'll see our headers, our header, and then we can come and see end header right here. Okay, and then over here we can open a comment and see main content. Okay, so now in the main content, it shows we want to put in here everything else we want to see on the screen apart from the navigation and then the header. And so we can have various sections. You can have various sections on our website. So let's copy this. This is the first section we did. You can copy and paste it here. So when we open, when we save it, you can see a section 1, and it has a header and then this Lorem dummy text just to show some kind of section. Okay, and then we can still in our main, we can have other, you can make use of the other semantic tags. I think we made an article. So the article, as we already studied, that it contains content that can stand on its own. So when we paste it here, this article should be something that can stand on its own. So blogs and other articles, and so we can actually add in some dummy text. So I can see Lorem with 30 characters and save it, and then we can see. So I would also like to add an image to this article, since an article can stand on its own. So right beneath, right, okay, let me do it right above here. So I would like to add an image here. So remember the tag we use for an image, img, and then we close it. It doesn't have a closing tag, so we just close it with the right angle brackets, and then inside it, it should have an attribute of SRC for source, and then the source should give us a direct path to an image that should be displayed here. So in our case, we just have one directory, one root, so we can just say /, and that will display whatever thing that is available onto us. So we have this image. So for me, I have this image ngu.jpg. I'll just click on it, and then you can see it has been auto completed for me. So when I save it, I should see that image right here, but it has come with its default height and width. So I would like to adjust that. So right still in here, I'll give a height. I'll give a height of 150. So that should be 150 pixels or so, and there you can see it has given it a height 150. And so as I stated earlier, the aspect ratio will be done automatically for you, but nowadays it is recommended that you also give the width of the picture or the image you are setting for certain reasons. Okay, but normally when you give a height or when you give the width, you should automatically set the height or the width for you depending on what you give. But in our instance, we just want to set the height and the width in order to get rid of any errors or anything that might happen in the future. So let's just give a width to be secured. So we give a width, and we also set it to 150, and let's save, and then we can see our image. And so should I make it bigger? Let's just go for 200. Let's go for 200, both for the height and the width. 200, and I'll save it, and then I can see it. And so what I would like to do next is this blocks and article should come to the next line, but let's see why it's not. Okay, so it's not in any semantic tag, so we can give this an element. You can put it in an element. Let me introduce this new one. So for images, what we normally do is we give a description, okay, of what the image is. So even with this, I'm not done with it. Let's say for instance I type in a wrong name for the image with the U. Let's get rid of the U and then save it. Now the browser will not be able to find the image, but in order to create some alternative to display when the image is not found, we can set a new attribute called alt, and then we'll set alt to, and we can write whatever we want to display here, maybe a description of the image or whatever it is. So when I can say here, never give up, never give up, never give up image. So this will display if this image, for some reason this image can't be found. And so for some reason, if this image can't be found, or there was a mistake in spelling the name of the image, or the source of the image is not available, and then this alt can then be displayed. So let me just demonstrate it by getting rid of the U and then save it. So as you can see, the never give up was displayed because the image was not found. So let me undo this and save it so that we can find our image. And so back to these blogs and other articles text, I'll just want to put it in a div, in a p tag, in a paragraph tag. I'll cut it and paste it here and save it so that it will be in the next line. Okay, and so when we move on, let's go back to our previous file and see what we had. So we dealt with the aside element. So the aside is actually for something that you, maybe an aside, but a sidebar or something that is necessarily not the main catch of the content on the website, on the web page, but you just want to display it for some reason, and so you can put it in an aside tag. So we are done with this article, are we? Yes, we are done with this article. So still in our main, you can come down here and paste the aside. So the aside should have a header. It's not compulsory, but aside should have a header and then some text to show that this is an aside text. So let's save it and then let's come back to our browser. So this is something, this is the aside. Yeah, this is the aside header. And so I would like to give it some styling, some default styling.